it's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys a brand new Pokemon Sword and Shield video today. Today we're going to be talking about all of the brand new Pokemon featured in the Galar region in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So this video has obviously some major spoilers, but it's really helpful if you're looking to plan out your team, you're going to jump into your adventure, you want to make sure you pinpoint certain Pokemon because you really think they look cool or whatever it may be. I'm also going to give a little bit of input and insight into some of these Pokemon and their viability as well as we go through the list. So I'm going to cover all that, but before we jump into the video, I want to cover a few other things really quickly. One, I'm doing a 252-hour, 10-day marathon on twitch.tv/aDrive. You guys can tune in at any time. It's going on 24/7 for 10.5 days. I hope to see you guys there. 2, my G Fuel Master Shaker is on sale once again. You guys can grab that later today during the marathon. It's sold out twice already within 2 hours each time. So if you guys are a fan, you want to try out G Fuel for the first time, check that out. 3, brand new t-shirt designs, limited edition designs for the 252 marathon. We've got the shield crest, the sword crest, we've got an awesome sword and shield crest, and then we've got a limited edition Drop a Draco shirt. All that stuff is going to be available at the marathon for 252. Let's jump into the video, guys. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. Let's make it happen, guys. By the way, we're almost at 500,000 subscribers. You guys are killing it. We might even hit it today. So thank you guys for that. Sorry for the little promo. There's just a lot going on, and I didn't want to make a separate video for that. But let's jump into the new Pokemon, man, because there's some really cool ones. And I do want to say, before we go any further, again, massive spoiler warning. And 2, don't necessarily judge a book by its cover here. These are static, 3D sprites essentially. They're gonna look much better in-game. Like, these Pokemon look incredible in-game, so just an FYI, and you guys can let me know in the comments which one's your favorite. So let's do it. First thing we got here is our starter evolutions. We got Grookey, Thwackey, and Rillaboom. Rillaboom, of course, has that big tank drum in front of him with kind of the Super Saiyan hair. He looks really cool. We've got Scorbunny, Raboot, and Cinderace. Cinderace, of course, Scorbunny's final evolution, and I would say my favorite of the 3 starters now. And then we've got Sobble, Drizzle, and Inteleon. Inteleon is a very slender-looking spy-themed chameleon, as we had kind of hinted at from many, many months back from the Aflac leak. So very cool stuff here. I actually think all 3 star designs are really cool. You got to see them in 3D though, and like I said, they look much better in game, so that's something definitely worth noting. If I had to kind of give you guys my thoughts on that, I really think it's worth kind of mentioning that you should definitely, give it a shot in game. I would definitely give it a shot in game. So, all right, let's keep rocking. Let's take a look at the next set of Pokemon. By the way, all 3 of them have so much viability for competitive, it's not even funny. So they're gonna be really good. Then you've got some of the early game Pokemon here. You've got Blipbug, Dottler, and Orbeetle. Orbeetle is incredible, by the way. It's super duper bulky on both sides. It's actually got a really good speed stat. It's a Psyche and Bug type, the first ever. I love its design. It's got a really cool little theme to it, and Blipbug is the early game bug Pokemon. Obviously, Corviknight we've seen many times. It's got a pre-evolution called Rookie D, which you find at the very early game, so you can get Rookie D and evolve it into a Corviknight eventually. And then, of course, Skwovet and Greedent, the little rodent Pokemon. Skwovet and Greedent, you can obviously get Skwovet pretty early game and evolve it into Greedent. That's like your early game rodent type Pokemon. And then you've got Nickit, which is a dark type, and it evolves into Thievul. And you can see there another set of Pokemon. Thievul is a dark type Pokemon with pretty bad stats. I'm not gonna lie, its stats aren't very good, but it's got a decent special attack, decent speed, and a pretty cool design. So if you like it, definitely snag it. Obviously, you guys know about Obstagoon, and I'll cover the Galar forms here after this. But Obstagoon, of course, is actually really powerful. It's a little slower than Linoone, but it's got a lot of bulk, and its signature move, Obstruct, is actually really good. Wooloo and Dubwool. Dubwool, of course, the evolution of Wooloo, very bulky. Its ability allows it to take those physical hits really well. It's got a decent speed stat, okay attack, so it's actually not a bad Pokemon at all. We've got Choodle here. Choodle is the pre-evolution of Dreadnought, and obviously we know Dreadnought from the trailers and everything. Choodle looks really funny with that big bobblehead, but Dreadnought is a pretty powerful Pokemon, and you can grab Choodle like as early as I think Route 2, so very early on in the game. Obviously, you guys know about Yamper. Its evolved form is Boltund. Boltund is a pure Lech type Pokemon, but it's got a wide array of coverage options and a pretty cool ability, I believe, in Strong Jaw, so it can actually do quite a bit of damage. And just so you guys know, I will be doing more in-depth coverage on all these Pokemon over the coming weeks on the channel. I just wanted to get you guys this video to show you guys all the new Pokemon for your playthroughs. Obviously, you guys know about Gossifleur and Eldegoss. It does not have an extra evolution, so keep that in mind, but you guys know about those. Sizzlipede and Centiskorch, one of my absolute favorite Pokemon in this new generation. You can actually find it relatively early game. It's found right in the same location as you find Roly-Coly, but it's at a 1% encounter rate. So for those looking for Sizzlipede early on, you could find it before the first gym, but again, it's 1% encounter in the same patch of grass as Roly-Coly. It comes up from the little exclamation points. Really cool Pokemon. It's got a really cool move in Fire Lash, which used to be Heatmore's signature attack, so you can use that effectively. Obviously, you guys know about Roly-Coly. It evolves into Carkol and Colossal. Do not judge them based on their sprites, because when they are animated, they look amazing, dude. I love Carkol's animations. He looks so funny, like the back of the coal lights up and all the flames get really red behind him. It looks really cool, so definitely don't just judge Carkol and Colossal based on that. Arrokuda, which is the Pokemon that Cramorant spits out from its mouth, is indeed a Pokemon and evolves into Barraskewda. And Barraskewda is actually an incredible threat, man. It's got an incredible speed stat, really high attack stat, and some great coverage options for moves. So if you're looking for a hard-hitting glass cannon Pokemon, Barraskewda might be the play. Right before you get to the first gym, I believe, you can actually encounter Galarian Meowth, which evolves into Berserker. Now, these are both pure steel type Pokemon, and I personally love the Viking design of Berserker. I think it looks really cool. It's a decent Pokemon as well. So if you're looking for an early game steel type, Berserker might be right for you. Let's take a look at the next row here, and these are some of my favorites. We already know about Alchemy, but believe it or not, Alchemy has a pre-evolution called Milcery. Milcery is found, again, I believe, right before the first gym, so if you wanted to snag that for your team, there's a wide array of Pokemon that you can obtain pretty early on. Alchemy obviously evolves from Milcery, and then one of my favorite new Pokemon is Applin. Applin is found right after the first gym, I believe on the way to the second gym. There's a little patch of grass, and what the game does, it actually, you battle trainers, and they usually show you the Pokemon, and then you can kind of get an idea for where that Pokemon is in the wild, but, it's actually right by the daycare, the first daycare. It evolves into Flapple in Pokemon Sword, but Appleton in Pokemon Shield. So it is a split evolution line. Applin evolves into Flapple in Sword, Appleton and Shield. Those are version exclusives, so that's something worth noting there. Really cool designs though. You got like the little lizard jumping out of the apple core versus like the big apple pie dragon. Then you've got Sirfetch'd, which you've already seen before, and then Cursula, which is the evolved form of Corsola. So Galarian Corsola, the coral reef has died unfortunately, become ghost type, and then it evolves into Cursula. Then we've got Impidimp, Morgrem, and its final evolution is called Grimmsnarl. Now, Grimmsnarl is a very powerful dark and fairy type Pokemon. You can obtain Impidimp as early as Glimwood Tangle, but I believe it actually shows up before that. There's a route earlier in the game, I'm not exactly positive, but you can run into Impidimp before, I believe, Glimwood Tangle. Then you've got Hatenna, Hattrem, and Hatterene, which is a brand new Psychic type that evolves into a Psychic and Fairy type. Really cool Pokemon. Slow speed stat, but really high special attack and just natural bulk, so it's a really powerful Pokemon if you're into those kind of Psychic Trick Room type Pokemon. Then you've got Cufant, which is the Pokemon that is revealed right when you start the game, which evolves into Caparaha, which is a powerful steel type mammoth basically that has a massive attack stat, really good ability, and has decent physical bulk. Lacks a little bit on the special side, but really good otherwise. Cramorant is of course the water flying duck Pokemon or whatever that shoots out the Barraskewda pre-evolution, the Arrokuda. And then Toxel, which I think is going to be a fan favorite. Toxel's actually given to you in the game through the daycare. So when you get to the first daycare, right where you would find Applin, you can actually get a Toxel. They'll just give it to you. It does evolve into Toxtricity, which is the first poison electric type evolutionary line. Very cool. Next, pretty obvious, you run into Silicobra through like gameplay, so it's pretty obvious where that is, but Silicobra, pure ground type that evolves into Sandaconda, really naturally bulky Pokemon. I think it's a good set for like Coil. It can set up Sandstorm as well when it gets hit by an attack, so that's really neat. Runerigus is the evolved form of Yamask. It is a Galarian Pokemon, which was revealed in the most recent trailer. Sinistea, the pre-evolution of Polteageist, which again was another Pokemon that was previously revealed. Polteageist is a very hard-hitting Ghost-type Pokemon that's got weak armor and Shell Smash, so it can combine the two to be a really big setup threat. Indeedee is kind of like the new Audino. It has two different forms, male and female, but they do essentially the same thing. If you can get a hidden ability Indeedee though, it does set up Psychic Terrain, so that's going to be a legitimate Pokemon, but again, it's more like the Chansey, Audino type Pokemon. Morpeko, of course, Marnie's favorite kind of, focus Pokemon or whatever, her like partner Pokemon, electric and dark type, pretty average Pikachu-like stats. Phalanx is a pure fighting type Pokemon that has a really cool secret move or special like signature move that allows to Omni boost all of its stats by +1. It's got a good natural all-around bulk and just average stats around, and it's got some pretty cool coverage options. Snom is a first bug and ice type Pokemon, and it evolves into Frostmoth. Now, I'll be honest, I love my bug-type Pokemon, but Frostmoth is a bit underwhelming unless you get its hidden ability, Ice Scales, which allows it to take half damage essentially from special type attacks. So that's actually a really good Pokemon, but it's got to have that hidden ability. Otherwise, it's pretty mediocre. It can run Quiver Dance, and it can run a couple things like Dazzling Gleam and Ice Beam and Bug Buzz. Clobopus and Grapple Locked you find on a watery route. Grapple Locked, really cool because again, it has a signature move that can trap the opponent and actually lower their defense stats every single turn. Pincurchin, a pure electric type Pokemon, which looks like the Pyukumuku of this game, but that is not the case at all. It's actually very slow, but pretty offensive, and it can actually set electric terrain with its hidden ability. Mr. Mime's evolution now is Mr. Rhyme, which is a Galarian form. Mr. Rhyme loses a little bit of speed, but gains a little bit of bulk and a little bit of special attack, and is actually pretty cool. It's got a new ability called Screen Cleaner, which can remove those hazards off the field, or remove the Light Screen and Aurora Veil off the field, or their effect, actually. Stonejourner is a very physically offensive and physically defensive rock type with one of the worst special attack and special defense stats we've ever seen, so it's very specially frail, but it has a really cool ability in double battles where it actually powers up your allies. However, most of us play single battles, at least during the game. Ice Cube is a unique Pokemon that has a little Ice Cube head, and when it gets hit with an attack, the Ice Cube melts, but if it's hailing out, the Ice Cube will regenerate. So this Pokemon could end up being one of the most viable Pokemon in competitive when paired with Ice and Hail, so it could be really cool. We know about Duraludon, the Steel Dragon Pokemon, that's absolutely incredible. And then we've got the four fossil Pokemon, which I'm going to talk about, and we're getting towards like kind of like the spoilers for the end of the game, so just a mindful warning there. The last set of Pokemon here, Dracozolt, Arctozolt, Dracovish, and Arctovish are the four fossil Pokemon. You can actually rearrange the fossils to get one of the four. There's two heads, which is the Zolt is the head, the electric kind of dragon head, and the body is a Draco. So you've got the body of Draco, and then you've got the other head is Arcto, I think. So there's like different pieces. There's Zolt, Draco, Arcto, and Vish. Those are the four pieces, and they combine to make four different Pokemon. And then you've got the pseudo-legendary of the game, Dreepy, Dracloak, and Dragapult. Very, very cool. You actually find these kind of, I think, right around Phalanx, but very, very good. I mean, probably one of the best Pokemon in the game is Dragapult. And then obviously Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus, the legendary Pokemon. So that is your entire Pokedex for the game. The one thing I did not cover is the Galarian form, so let's just take a peek at those, as we got those pulled up here behind us. We've got the Galarian Meowth, of course, Galarian Ponyta, and Rapidash. So there's your first look at Galarian Rapidash if you haven't seen it yet. Pretty solid Psychic Fairy. It does continue to have Rapidash's stats. Farfetch'd is a fighting type, of course. It's about the same, but obviously Surfetch'd much better. Galarian Weezing, it's got that nice defense stat, of course, with neutralizing gas. And I didn't even realize until now, hidden ability is Misty Surge, so it can set up the fairy terrain, which is pretty nuts. I didn't actually even realize that. Mr. Mime, as I mentioned, Galarian Mr. Mime here. And then you've got Galarian Corsola. As I had said, we have Cursula now. We've got Zigzagoon, Linoon, and then some really cool ones. Galarian Darmanitan, which has a new ability called Guerrilla Tactics. Very, very good attack stat. Good speed, so it's the same. And then he actually has a Zen mode form, which is Ice and Fire. He turned into this snowman homie, which is very, very cool. And you can see his stats change up quite a bit, so that's really neat there. I think this is the Zen mode form, I'm assuming. We've got Yamask, and then we have a Galarian Stunfisk, which has a new ability called Mimicry, which changes its typing based on the terrain. So again, we covered all the evolutions here, but these are your Galar forms, and I showed you all of your Galar decks. So let me know which Galar Pokemon you're going to take on your adventure in Pokemon Sword and Shield today. Check out our Marathon 252. You can check it out in the description below for the link to my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/aDrive. And again, we got all this awesome stuff, the merch. We've got the shakers for G Fuel, all the good stuff. So I'll see you guys on the next video. And don't forget to check out my bug lock. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Let's hit 500,000 subs today. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Butterfree, go!